Welcome back to the deep dive. We really trying to crack open these big ideas for you.
Get right to the essential insights.
Exactly. And today we're tackling something fundamental. Your morning.
Mm-hmm. That first hour or so.
We're diving deep into the system described in The Miracle Morning that claims it can totally reshape your success, your fulfillment.
Right. A pretty ambitious promise.
Just by changing how you wake up. Not working later, but starting earlier and starting differently.
Yeah, the core idea is this specific process done daily before 8 a.m.
Before 8 a.m., that's specific.
And it's supposedly guaranteed to bring, immediate profound changes in any area of your life.
Okay, I have to jump in there. It sounds almost too simple, right? Makes me a bit skeptical.
Oh, definitely.
Like, if it's just about waking up earlier, shouldn't we all be, level 10 successes already? What's the catch?
That skepticism is totally fair. Actually, people who reviewed the source material early on, like Josh Shipp, he apparently thought the author had lost his mind.
Okay, so I'm not alone then.
Not at all. But the thing that seemed to flip the switch for skeptics was the immediacy of the results once they actually did the routine.
So it's not just waking up early.
Exactly. It's about what you commit to doing with that time you've just, seized back.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's ground this. Why this focus? The sources paint a pretty stark picture of, the average reality.
They really do. No punches pulled. It mentions the average American being, 20 pounds overweight?
Yeah, something like $10,000 in debt.
A bit depressed, maybe dislikes their job.
And struggling with close friendships. Less than one close friend, it said.
It's a tough snapshot. It's really a picture of settling for less than what's possible.
Definitely sounds like settling.
So the whole point here, the foundational goal, is to help you move from that reality.
The struggle, the discontent.
To what the book calls a level 10 life. Across the board, health, finances, happiness, everything.
So achieving your full potential instead of just getting by?
Pretty much.
Okay, so what's the core philosophy then? What's the manifesto behind grabbing the morning like this?
It really boils down to three key arguments. Imperative arguments, the source calls them.
Okay, argument one.
First, you, the listener, are just as worthy, deserving, and capable of creating, extraordinary success and happiness as anyone else, anyone you admire.
The potential is already there.
Exactly. It's innate.
Okay, I like the sound of that. But potential alone isn't enough, right?
What's the next step? How do you activate it?
That's the second argument. To stop settling for less than level 10, you absolutely must dedicate time. Daily. Non-negotiable time.
Okay. Time for what specifically?
Time to become the person who is qualified. Qualified to attract, create, and sustain that level 10 success. It's about becoming, not just doing.
So it's an identity shift. Not just ticking boxes on a to-do list.
Precisely. It's fundamental change.
And the third argument ties this to the morning.
Yes. It connects the dots. Focus successful mornings. They create successful days.
And successful days, strung together consistently, they inevitably build a successful life. That first hour acts like the rudder for your entire day, sets the direction.
The rudder of the day. I like that metaphor. Now, to really get the weight of this, we need to look at the author's own story. The source calls it born out of desperation.
Yeah, and that phrase feels very fitting. He talks about hitting rock bottom hard twice.
Right. The first time he was young, 20.
Yeah, age 20, 1999. A horrific car crash. Hit head-on by a drunk driver. Died for 6 minutes, apparently.
Died.
Clinically dead. Broke, 11 bones. Suffered permanent brain damage. The recovery was brutal, uncertain.
That's incredibly traumatic. Life-changing doesn't even begin to cover it.
Absolutely. But here's the thing the sources emphasize. His second rock bottom, which was about a decade later, 2008.
The financial crisis.
Exactly. That one, he claims, was actually harder for him.
Wait, harder than dying and massive physical trauma? How? He was, $425,000 in debt?
Yeah, deep in debt. And it seems shocking, right? But think about the nature of the crises. The accident, terrible as it was, brought immediate support. Family, friends rallied, world-class doctors. There was a path, a plan, external help.
Okay, visible support.
But the financial crash, that brought profound loneliness, isolation. No one brings you casseroles when you're facing bankruptcy.
True. It's often a very private struggle.
He felt utterly alone, hopeless. He even admitted that sleep was his only escape, and he had daily thoughts of ending his life. He was that desperate.
Goodness, that level of despair. It must have taken something really powerful to break through that. What was the turning point?
It happened kind of unexpectedly. A friend convinced him reluctantly to go for a run.
A run, okay.
And while he was running, just listening to some personal development audio,
Yeah.
he heard that famous Jim Rohn quote.
Oh, the one about personal development?
That's the one. Your level of success will rarely exceed your level of personal development because success is something you attract by the person you become.
Ah, the success parallel. That clicked for him.
Big time. He suddenly saw it clearly. He wanted this level 10 life, this huge success.
Right.
But his own personal development, he felt it was maybe at a level 2, maybe a 4 on a good day.
So a huge mismatch.
A massive gap.
Mm-hmm.
And he realized to change his outer world, the debt, the despair he had to first commit, like really commit to changing his inner world, developing himself.
And the only guaranteed time he could find for that
Was the morning. Before the day's chaos, the worries, the demands could derail him, he had to seize that first hour.
That really sets the stage, and it leads directly into this pretty sobering concept from Chapter 3, the 95% reality check.
Yeah, this is where it gets stark. If we don't make this kind of deliberate change, the statistics aren't exactly encouraging.
What does the data say?
The sources point to Social Security Administration figures. Basically, if you look at 100 people starting their careers,
Okay.
by the time they reach retirement age, only about 5% are actually wealthy or financially secure. 5 out of 100.
Only 5. Wow, so what happens to the other 95%?
They struggle. They depend on family, charity, government support, or they have to keep working literally until they die because they can't afford not to.
That's grim. So the message is we have to actively choose not to be in that 95%.
Precisely. And to do that, the book says you have to understand why most people end up there. What are the causes of, well, mediocrity?
Okay, let's break those down. What are the main traps we need to avoid?
They lay out 5 key causes that keep people stuck. The first one is called rearview mirror syndrome, RMS.
A rear view mirror syndrome.
Okay, what's that?
It's this idea that our subconscious mind is like constantly reliving the past. We think we're moving forward, but we're limited by old beliefs, old failures, past experience.
So we're kind of defined by what's behind it.
Yeah, and get this, they estimate something like 95% of our thoughts each day. And we have tens of thousands of thoughts.
Wow.
Or the same thoughts we had yesterday. Repetitive loops based on the past.
That sounds incredibly limiting. So what's the fix? It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Consciously adopt the belief, the paradigm, that my past does not equal my future. Make it a mantra. Decide your future isn't dictated by yesterday.
Okay. Break the loop. What's cause number 2?
Lack of purpose. If you don't have a really compelling reason why you're getting out of bed, especially when it's hard, it's just too easy to hit snooze, to take the path of least resistance, to settle.
So you need a why that pulls you forward.
Absolutely. A purpose that's bigger than your immediate challenges or discomfort. And it doesn't have to be saving the world initially. It could be as simple as, I commit to becoming the best version of myself.
And then living by that daily.
Exactly. Choose it, write it down, remind yourself constantly.
Got it. Okay, number 3.
This one's insidious. Isolating incidents.
Isolating incidents. Meaning?
Thinking that each choice you make exists in a vacuum. Like, hitting snooze today only affects today. Missing one workout is just one workout. Procrastinating on one task. It's just this once.
Uh-oh. I think many of us do that.
We all do. But the source argues this is a huge mistake. Every single choice, every action or inaction isn't just about that moment.
It's about
who you are becoming. Each time you give in, hit snooze, take the easy way out, you're reinforcing the identity of someone who does that. You're practicing mediocrity.
Ouch. Okay. How you do anything is how you do everything. That quote comes to mind.
That's the T. Harv Eker quote they use.
Exactly.
Every choice shapes your character, your identity. It all adds up.
That's a powerful reframe. Okay, cause number 4.
Lack of accountability. Basically, as kids, we have parents, teachers. Accountability is built in.
Right.
But as adults, we often resist it. We want freedom, which can easily slide into, well, laziness or cutting corners because no one's checking.
So we need to build it back in.
Yes.
Yeah.
The most successful people, the source argues, don't just tolerate accountability, they seek it out. They find an accountability partner, a coach, a mentor, a group, someone to report to ensure they follow through on their commitments.
Makes sense. Having someone else know your goals definitely adds pressure to act.
It really does. It combats that tendency to let ourselves off the hook.
Okay, and the final cause, number 5.
The mediocre circle of influence. Jim Rohn also famously said, we become the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with.
Right, I've heard that one.
Well, think about it. If 95% of people are struggling or settling, chances are, unless you're very intentional, your primary circle might reflect that mediocrity.
And they might unintentionally hold you back.
Exactly. Mediocrity loves company. People often resist when someone in their group tries to break out and strive for more. It makes them uncomfortable.
So you need to audit your circle.
You really do. And actively seek out people who inspire you, challenge you, people who are playing at the level you aspire to. Join groups, communities, network intentionally. Improve your average.
Those 5 causes, rearview mirror, lack of purpose, isolating incidents, no accountability, mediocre circle, that's a really clear roadmap of what not to do or what to overcome.
Yeah, it really lays out the common pitfalls that lead to that 95% reality. Yeah. Understanding them is the first step to defeating them.
So this really drives home why change is necessary. It counters the skepticism by showing the default path leads to struggle for most people.
Right. It's not about pessimism, it's about realism. And using that realism to fuel the motivation for change, the kind of change that starts, according to this method, first thing in the morning.
Which brings us full circle. You can't just wish for a level 10 life. You have to become the person capable of creating it. And that starts with reclaiming your mornings and fighting these root causes of mediocrity.
Exactly. It's about intentional daily action aligned with becoming that better version of yourself.
Okay, so we've laid out the problem, the core philosophy, the author's journey, and the major obstacles. What's the final takeaway for you, the listener, right now, based on these first few chapters?
I think the core message is one of agency and potential. You can achieve an extraordinary life. It's not just luck or circumstance.
It's a choice.
It's a choice, followed by a commitment. A daily, intentional commitment to your own growth, your personal development. That 5% reality. It's achievable, but it requires adopting the mindset and habits of the 5%.
And the sources seem to argue pretty forcefully that the biggest barrier isn't lack of knowledge. We generally know what we should do, right? Eat better, exercise, learn more.
Right. The problem isn't knowing what. It's finding the time, finding the motivation, and consistently doing it.
Overcoming that someday mindset. I'll start Monday. I'll do it next month when things calm down.
That someday thinking. The book calls it probably the single biggest cause of unfulfilled potential and mediocrity. Because ultimately, today is all we ever really have control over.
Today matters more than any other day. So our final thought for you, building on that call to action from the source material. If your life is truly determined by the person you are becoming through your daily choices, what one action, however small it might seem, will you commit to today or in the next 24 hours that proves you're drawing your own line in the sand? That signals you're no longer willing to settle for less than your full potential.